Modulating gas furnace is going to go through setup of the gas valve. This gas valve has to be set up because modulation rate changes based on the pressure on this hose and this hose. And that changes based on the speed of the inducer, which changes with our venting procedure. So we have to set it up on every single unit. If you don't set it up, you're going to have possibly flame rollout trips or over temp limits on the main limit switch. We have to reference the burner when we do this, so it's going to require a 2-pipe manometer similar to this testo. And one side of the manometer, we're going to connect our reference off of our burner box here, which comes around to this T here and goes right into the regulator right here, this hose right here. The other side of the manometer will connect to our outlet port, which is here, and that takes a 5/32 Allen. So I'll show you how to hook this up. Beep. Okay, so we're going to disconnect off of the regulator. We're going to connect a T in. Off of my T, I have another chunk of hose that we're going to connect to the regulator in place of where that hose was the first time from the factory. And then I'm going to connect my other side into one side of manometer. So now my manometer is referencing the pressure that the combustion box is seeing. The other side of my manometer connects into the 5/32. Now I'm going to use my air conditioning tool because this is a 5/32 Allen that will pull out our plug very easily. You can use a standard Allen if you want. This is just much easier and faster in my opinion. Boop. Okay, so I've pulled out the plug. Make sure and save that. Do not lose that plug. I'm going to take my 1/8" mil pipe thread to 1/4" barb fitting and screw it into the gas valve. Make sure it's fairly snug. I'm going to take a hose and I'm going to come off of this barb fitting. If I can get my hose to stretch out enough to go over it. I'm going to take it into the bottom side of my manometer. Now I've got everything connected up. So I've taken the hose that comes off of the burner box, I've teed into it, tied it back into the regulator where it was tied in before I started this. The other side of the T heads to one side of my gas manometer. I've got the outlet side headed to the other side of my gas manometer. Now I've got to go through the setup procedure on this, fire it in first stage, adjust my pressures, then fire it in second stage. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so to get this into gas valve setup, we're going to go up to the unit. And from model serial number, we're going to hit the down arrow until we get to gas valve setup. Excuse me, unit test. We hit enter. We're going to go to gas valve setup, hit enter. We're going to make sure minimum is in the box. We're going to hit enter. It's going to ask us, are you sure? We're going to change it to yes, hit enter. And now it's going to fire up the furnace at 65%. A lot of times it's going to go through a learning routine and then fire up the furnace. Once it fires up, goes through its learning routine, we've got to adjust the low side pressure. To adjust the low side pressure, it is this port right here. Okay, this is a flathead screwdriver. This is the dust cover down here. You're going to remove the dust cover. Inside will be another screw. Let me show you that. Okay, so that's with the dust cover removed. You can see right here is my dust cover. I've pulled that off. You can see the brass flathead down inside. That is your low side adjustment. You're going to adjust this to where this reads 0.7 to 0.9 on all units except 120,000 BTU upflow, and that gas pressure is 0.9 to 1.1 inches of water column. Once you've adjusted this, you're going to put the dust cover back on, or just cover up the hole for just about a minute or so, and make sure that the pressure doesn't move on your manometer. Once that is done, you can fire the unit in high, doing the same process. We go down to the gas valve simple setup, or gas valve setup, and we're going to go to gas valve, change it to max, yes, and we're going to fire up the furnace. It'll fire up in second stage, or about 65%, then it'll modulate up to 100%. Once that has been adjusted, we can adjust the high side airflow. That is this one. It is very similar to the low side. You'll take the dust cover off, and there will be another one down inside to adjust to the 3.5 inches of water column. Hope this helps. Thank you and have a great day.